Today we are going to uncover the 5 mistakes that beginners tend to make. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to stay clear from that can be extremely costly to not only you financially, but also to your real estate career. All right, so I get it. I was once new, and sometimes you just don't know, but that's okay. And that's why you're watching this video, and I'm gonna show you some mistakes to avoid, right? Because some of these mistakes could also lead you in handcuffs. And I don't want you in handcuffs, okay? I want you to do this business the right way, the ethical way, and make some money for yourself, and not doing it the wrong way that can lead you in jail, all right? Common mistake number 5. Man, don't just go on Zillow, Redfin, or any of these realtor sites or realtor.com and start looking for properties, okay? That's not the way I teach you to do, because what happens is when you go through that process of doing it that way, all right, let's say that you get a property that you know is worth $150,000, right? And you're trying to get the property is listed for $110,000, and it needs a lot of work, and it's been sitting on the market for 90 days. Okay, let's dissect that sitting in the markets. If something's been sitting on the real estate market that long, then a lot of people had their eyes on it. They probably don't want it. But let's say that, you know, they asked for 110 and you're like, well, I'm gonna put 80,000 into it, right? So you know it's worth 150, right? So you say, hey, I'm gonna put an offer in for 80,000. Let's say that the realtor said, hey, I'll accept your $80,000, but I need some due diligence and earnest money. What is due diligence? Well, in North Carolina, due diligence is the money that you give them that they keep that's non-refundable for taking the property off the market. So let's say, hey, all right, we'll do it for $500 due diligence and $500 earnest money deposit. Well, now you have to put up $1,000, right, to get that contract. And let's say you have the $1,000 and you put it up and you're like, well, I got it for 80. I'm going to try to sell it for 90. It was listed for 110. But now you contact buyers and buyers say, hey, I seen that deal. That house needs at least $50,000 worth of work. I need it for 60. Now, remember, you got $1,000 at stake. So being that you have $1,000 at stake, what happens? Well, if you don't get that deal closed at the 80,000 that you signed the contract for, you lose your $1,000. It's gone, okay? So it's gone just like that, because of you should not, if you're new, I don't think you should be dealing with a realtor or listed properties. Don't waste those people's time. I think that's a strategy that maybe you can do once you're experienced. You know you got buyers in certain areas and you know that your numbers are right, okay? In this particular case, you lose your $1,000. So don't go after, number 5, don't go after listed properties. Okay, so make sure you check out that pinned comment below, because I want to give you my 10-step PDF how to wholesale. And guess what? I'm gonna give it to you for free. So what do you have to lose? Number 4, remember, you're a wholesaler. You're in the sales, marketing, and negotiation business. When you're going after off-market properties, just because a property is off-market doesn't make it a deal, okay? So what happens is sometimes a property might be worth $200,000 and somebody can get it off-market for $180,000. Where they should have negotiated the deal down to $100,000. Yeah, they $80,000 off, and they're just wasting everybody's time. And because that $200,000 property needs $60,000 worth of work, so your end buyer needs to be at like $100,000 to buy it. You know, maybe $105,000. Maybe you can make $5,000 off that deal if you got it for $100. If the end buyer is willing to cut corners on the rehab and save money with some of the labor. So with that being said, what happens is a wholesaler ends up wasting everybody's time because of they thought off-market deal meant a good deal when that is not the case, okay? Number 3 is don't mentally cash checks, okay? Wait until closing day to get the money. So what does that mean? So let's say that you have a deal, right, that, you know, is worth $250, you got it for $110, you are selling it for $140,000, you're making $30,000. Well, wait till the deal closed until you count that money. And I did this myself, especially when I was new. Because with wholesaling houses, in order for the deal to close, the attorney or title company, depending on your state, they have to do what is called a title search. And in that title search, right, that will let them know if the title was good. So for example, let's say that you got it for 110. You got an end buyer for 140 on the hook. He's ready to go. He's ready to close. He's bugging you to close. The deal's worth 250. Okay? Well, what can go wrong? Well, let's say the attorney's office call you and say, hey, listen, your seller has a $300,000 IRS lien. And the seller's like, you contact the seller, you say, hey, Mr. Seller, you have a $300,000 IRS? Oh, yeah, that's attached to my property. Yeah, it's attached to your property, it has to be paid. Maybe you can call the IRS and work something out. Well, he calls the IRS and the IRS say, listen, we're not allowing you to walk away with no money. We know that this is the only chance we got to collect money from you. So therefore, if you're selling this property for $110,000, we want the whole $110,000 towards your $300,000 tax bill. And guess what? Of course, he says, well, I might as well just keep it and rent it out. They're not gonna let me get any money, and the deal is theirs. So wait until the deal is done to get that money. Don't mentally cash checks. I learned this the hard way. It would just let you down, especially when you're new. You just end up getting discouraged and quitting. All right, now we're at number 2. What could number 2 be? Well, number 2 is actually comping properties. You must know how to comp properties. Don't go into a neighborhood. This is a true story. A wholesaler brought me a deal into a neighborhood on the outskirts of downtown, right? And this is the outskirts of downtown. He said, yo, bro, I got this deal over here. I said, yeah, I can buy it, but I need to be at about 120,000. Well, I figured since it's right downtown that somebody will probably buy it for $180,000 because of it's right downtown. They could just hold it like a landlord. He just made that up in his head. The numbers for holding it as a landlord didn't make sense, all right? And the comps wasn't that strong for him to be selling an off-market deal that needed everything for $180,000. But he didn't know how to comp properties. The properties were selling for about his size, $250,000, and this house needed probably about $60K in work, right? He ended up wasting everybody's time. That's all he ended up doing and giving back. So you gotta learn how to comp properties. Comping properties, and with the comping properties, right, that's what is the house worth fixed up, ARV, after repair value. What is a house worth? Okay, that's extremely important. All right, so to know that. Number 1, what could this be? All right, so number 1, don't market a house online that you do not have the contract to. A wholesaler, this is a true story, down in Georgia, him and the seller agreed to a price on the property, okay? He didn't get a contract. He did not get a contract. So what he did was he went on to Facebook Marketplace with no contract trying to sell that deal. A family member seen that he was trying to sell the house, looked up, man, this guy's not a realtor. Somebody's trying to scam, you know, my grandmother for her house, etc. Well, the police was called and he was charged. The guy got arrested for that. It was some type of intent to deceive or fraud because he did not have a contract. If he had a contract on that property, he would have been okay. So make sure you educate yourself, right? Make sure you educate yourself on the wholesaling process and do it the right way so that you don't end up in bars. Now, please click on that video next to me where I'm gonna show you how to get pre-foreclosures in 5 minutes so you can wholesale these and make a bunch of money off of. Also, make sure you check out that pinned comment below because I want to give you my 10-step PDF how to wholesale. And guess what? I'm going to give it to you for free. So what do you have to lose? I'm Nasser, AKA the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a duru because I actually do this business. Peace.